For the first time in over 45 years, the University College of the Cayman Islands is having an alumni homecoming gala dinner on October 28th. The event highlights the kickoff of the UCCI Alumni Network, a community of professionals helping the university and one another. If you're a UCCI grad, join the network today and let your fellow classmates know about it. Visit ucci.edu.ky/alumni and come give us a hand with UCCI's first ever homecoming. The views expressed and the opinions given by individual hosts and their guests do not necessarily reflect those of Star 927, its affiliates, or sponsors. Now, this is straight.
And good afternoon and welcome to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. Catherine Tyson, your host. Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. It is Thursday and that is our Success 101 show. You know, we try to highlight our young Caymanians and talk to them about their road to success, how they got there, how hard it was, how easy it was, because I do believe that success is not as hard as people think. And when the foundation is put in, it's smooth sailing after that. But of course, you know, there's going to be bumps along the way. But yeah, that's what we do on Thursday. So today, I have an amazing guest. Of course, I think all of my guests are amazing. But this one actually is because she is my daughter. I'm a bit biased. I'm sorry. Caitlin Tyson, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me. I love the intro.
Yes, I'm sure, and you should. I really wanted to bring you kind of back in today because you were actually probably my first Success 101 guest. I probably couldn't find anybody, and I was like, hey, I got a daughter. She's pretty successful. Bring her in. And so that was last year around this time that we actually, when I took over
Yeah.
the helm from Rusana, who we love and miss,
Yes.
and I got to get her back in again soon. And so we decided, all right, we're going to be, doing, the Success 101 Thursdays, the Wellness Wednesdays, and Hot Topics Tuesdays. And so you were my first guest on that
Wow, I
day.
didn't know that. What an honor.
Yeah, but you know what also happened with being the first guest is I was not, knowing anything about the streaming.
Oh,
I
okay.
mean, I was just like, in this chair for the first time with this board in front of me and, all of the stuff trying to figure it out. And so I kind of missed not having you, really be highlighted across social media, my Facebook page. Like my page too, Straight Talk Drive at 5 as well as Star 92.7. And of course, look us up on Instagram and follow us and all that stuff. We're also on YouTube. Check it out, support us because we're here for you. So
Yeah,
thank
I mean,
you.
that's great. I love catching the streams on Facebook.
Yeah,
I love the radio, but I always love to see the guests and just how you're interacting. So definitely check out the streams on Facebook. They're awesome.
absolutely. And you can also share them. You can send them to your friends and share them on your page and just, provide that support for the entertainment that we bring you. So in saying that, I wanted to bring you back because I really do want to talk about your success. I want to talk about your journey. Clearly, I've been a part of it your whole life.
Absolutely.
Yes, but I'm inspired by you every day. Still,
Oh, same.
absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And so I wanted to talk to you about that. You're not in your kind of traditional career, you know.
Yeah, for
It's
sure.
it's definitely a dreamer's career, and do dreams come true? Well, absolutely, right? So I wanted to talk to you about that because I know a lot of my parents driving along, and thinking about, their children and how artistic they may be, and maybe, I need to do something different to get them to change their mind,
Mhm.
but that might not be the best thing. So let's talk a little bit about you. Now, tell me what you're doing, but also let's talk about your journey, like when you knew what you wanted to be, and then we'll catch up with what you're doing now.
Yeah, for sure. So everyone tuning in who's probably in traffic, what's up?
Yes.
I'm Caitlin Tyson. I'm an actress, model, writer, creative director, producer, and I actually found my passion right here in Cayman. There are a lot of opportunities for um, creative arts. There could be more, definitely, but I definitely found my love for theater and performance through watching old Hollywood movies with my mom and
Ah.
musicals like My Fair Lady. And I think once I saw Roger and Hammerstein's version of Cinderella, which featured Whitney Houston and Brandy,
Oh
just
dear.
and
Right.
Paulo Montalban, like just such amazing powerhouse performers that were singing, dancing, and acting. I was like, okay,
Everything.
this is it. So I kind of knew what I wanted to be for a long
Don't let me belt that out
time.
here, because you know I'm
I
ready.
know.
10 minutes ago, I saw you. Okay, all right,
At the
all right,
break.
calm down.
But no, yeah, I knew what I wanted to do for a long time, and I think I was very fortunate to have a parent such as yourself that really encouraged me to chase what I was passionate about. I saw a lot of my friends that did not have that, and of course, it's not the parents not wanting to crush their children's spirits. It's just wanting to prepare them for the future and the real world, so they
Right.
can sustain themselves and have a happy, healthy life. You know,
Right.
so I did see that a lot where they're being pushed into careers that didn't really suit who they were. And so that was really unfortunate, you know, and I think that for any parents listening, sometimes your kids do know what they want,
Right.
but you can help guide them there because though I am performing and acting, there's a business side to it that I've been really thrilled to learn about as I've stepped into this role.
Right.
You know, kind of marketing yourself and how to keep yourself safe on sets, how to negotiate terms and things like that that are really important.
Right.
So I first got my education. I got my degree, my associate's degree in literature from the ECCI.
Right.
Right.
Because I wanted to keep you home as long as I could.
Yeah. So I got my degree. That was my mom's degree. Like,
Right.
this is for you to prove that I can do it.
Yes.
And get ready. 2 years, I'm going to New York.
Yeah, you were like, listen, I'm not staying. Okay, I'm letting you know I'm leaving. And I
Yeah.
remember that day. It was just like, I'm going to New York, Mom. Just get your mind around
I
that,
had to look you in the eyes.
because I know,
Keep
hold
you
me
still.
still.
Like, yeah, this is happening.
Yes.
And so I found the American Academy of Dramatic Arts in New York City, auditioned for it, got in, and you know, the rest is history. From there, I got to travel to Greece, where I premiered in Lynn Nottage's play Ruined at the Athens and Epidaurus Festival, which is a huge festival in Greece. So it was awesome to go to where theater began, and it was like the beginning of my career as an actor from
Right.
school. And since then, I've just had so many opportunities, but it's because I really do work for those opportunities.
Right.
And of course, like, no opportunity is too small, especially in the beginning.
Right.
You know, get as much experience as you can. And there was actually a mentor of mine that sat me down and said, if you could be in a room with all of your idols, so picture them. So I pictured Viola Davis,
Right.
Denzel Washington, Meryl Streep, even Audrey Hepburn was there. And she's like, okay, now you're in that room. Would you be ready?
Right.
And the honest answer was no.
Okay.
So she's like, so get ready.
Okay.
So spend every opportunity, every chance you get to get ready for that room, because it will come if you're doing the work.
Yeah. Look at that. You know,
Yeah.
It's really funny because I just remember, keeping you busy as a little girl with a lot of dancing.
Oh, yeah.
You've been dancing, and you're an amazing dancer, by the way. A lot of people,
Thank you.
they don't know that. They don't know the dancing and the singing, Caitlin. And I'm just waiting on her to really just jump up on somebody's stage and just carry on in the way that you've been doing ever since you're 5 years old, right? And doing it so much better, right? just with everything, because you have this very it's not a perfectionist per se, because it's not negative, right? It's more like, I'm going to perfect this thing. If it's something that I'm going to do, I'm going to do it to the best of my ability. I'm going to study it. I'm going to, and I am going to be that girl, and I love that about you. And you are very business oriented, which I also love, because I think I'm more creative, and people accuse me of not liking money,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to help people all the time. But yeah, so I really love just the business savvy that you have. And that's a balance, right?
Right.
Like striking that balance.
Yeah, and I mean, I've been dating a Capricorn for 8 years now.
Right.
And they're very money focused. So
Yeah.
I've liked having that influence, honestly. Shout out Sean if you're listening.
Okay.
And very focused. It's like, hey, you can't go to the supermarket and say, hey, I'll pay you for this later.
Right.
It doesn't happen. You got to pay for it.
Yeah.
So think of what you're doing. Think of the money you've invested, the time you've invested, all the experience you've earned, and you have to say, hey, like, this is a price.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
then just, even though you're like, I could do it for free, I could, but we all have to sustain ourselves. I think everyone knows that. And just honoring yourself and knowing what you're worth, it's a big hurdle to kind of get over, especially coming from like a small place where we're so community oriented. And not saying that there isn't room for collaboration. I think collaboration is amazing when you can network across and use your skills in this and my skills in this and really make something incredible.
Right.
I love those opportunities too.
Yeah, for sure. Now I know also that you're in New York City. I mean, just like hustling on them streets, like you graduated and just doing your thing. I visited a couple of times. Obviously, I had to settle you in and come and visit a couple of times, and just after a while, saying these old bones just can't deal with this rush. You are
The
doing
young bones
good.
couldn't even deal with it.
Right? Oh, but somehow you ended up back home, and you know, walked down that pageant lane. Talk to us a little bit about that because that's something as well. Miss Cayman
Yeah.
Islands Universe 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, one thing I always wanted to do was kind of, be a part of that movement of bringing Cayman to the world stage. So there's amazing people like Grace Geely Byers who's done that, and even Trevine Stewart, like that I really look up to, and I think are so amazing. There's so many
right,
forces here in Cayman, and we are, especially with social media right now, you can be anything.
right,
People can see you, even though we
right,
used to be so cut off. Like, as long as you're putting yourself out there,
right.
you can be seen.
And
So
you've worked with Frankie Flowers as well.
yes,
Yeah,
absolutely, so amazing. And so for me, it was really like, how can I get myself to that level, that world class level? And it takes work.
right.
It just takes work, and that was always an intention of mine. So all of the experience I was gaining in New York, I always wanted to bring it back
Yeah,
home and be
yeah.
able to work with people and just learn from each other and create beautiful stuff. So
That's nice.
when I came
That's
back
good.
home in 2018, I was just kind of sick of the cold. I was sick of the hustle for a little bit, and the me, just like focusing on yourself. I was like, I just want to be back in my community and get back to my community because that was such a
Right.
huge part of my life growing up, and of course, seeing you and how you give back to the community, that's always been something that's really important to us. So
Right. Thank you.
I decided to enter the Miss Cayman pageant, and those times where I was feeling a little down, you reminded me it's a competition. Think of this as your next big role.
Right.
That really helped push me forward, and it was such an amazing experience. I learned so much about myself. Like when I think about when I think about Caitlin then and who I am now, it's like
Absolutely.
just different
That's
people.
true.
And so I've been coaching a lot of the girls for the Miss Cayman pageant this year, which we'll get into.
Right.
But one of the things I'm saying is like, there's no such thing as a gentle push out of
Right.
your country comfort zone.
Right.
You're not going to be gently coaxed out of your comfort zone. You're
Yeah.
going to be pushed. It's going to be uncomfortable, the growth. And so I got to go to Thailand for a whole month.
Right.
It was a month of preparation for Miss Universe.
90 something girls.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
it
from
was a
other
lot.
countries.
And then I was really grateful for my experience in New York, kind of, knocking down doors and, never taking no for an answer. And every
Right.
rejection was like, okay, cool, I'll get my yes over here.
Right.
Okay, 10 no's over here, no problem. Yes is around the corner,
Right.
having that kind of mindset, it really, really helped me to stand out. And I just look back on these experiences, and every experience you can have really will help you later on in life, and
Right.
I still have international fans who reach out whenever they're posting throwbacks and like, how did you not place?
Right.
I can't believe you didn't place. You were
Absolutely.
my choice, and
Yeah.
that's what fills me up.
Well, you were in Vogue Thailand a couple of times.
Yeah, and
You know,
Cosmopolitan and
what was it? The national costume that
Mhm.
kind of got a little, not what it should have gotten in Cayman, which is, oh my gosh, it's amazing. But in in Vogue Thailand, it got
right.
amazing.
And that's one of the things I wanted to show, the beauty of what we have here, because we don't have diamonds and gold like the Asias of the world,
Right.
that have all these amazing kind of idols and stuff. So I'm like, but what we are rich with is nature, our water. When
Absolutely.
people come to Cayman, they look out at that water and it's sparkling, literally sparkling. They're just
Yes.
like, what? This is how you grew up,
Yes.
And that's what I wanted to invoke when you saw the dress. And backstage, everyone was, how did you fit that in your suitcase? It's so
Right.
amazing. That was made by Kenzie Rose.
Yes.
She's so
Beautiful.
fabulous, beautiful, beautiful designer, beautiful heart, and everyone loved it. They could see the lights backstage and
Right.
the stingrays. They were like, "This is crazy." I'm like, "Well, you don't want to know what my country's saying back home,
Right.
but I'll just go on stage and prove everybody wrong."
Yeah, and people can Google it. They can go
Yeah.
on YouTube and look it up if they want to.
And
if they're
the
listening.
support is there, but social media negativity is always louder.
Right.
But I did love to see my country kind of rally behind me after seeing my performance. That really made me feel very supported.
I was so proud of you. I
Oh,
was. I
thank
mean,
you.
I think I was in Jamaica for a little while during that time because I ended up going to the embassy. And trust me, I was on YouTube. Like because we're in two different time zones, so I was not sleeping at all because I had to be awake when you were awake, and I
Yeah.
was searching for you in that whole crowd. Oh, there she is! It got crazy,
Yeah.
but I was so proud of it. It was really great. It was a great experience. I think for you as well. You walked away from that just with such a rich experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my my perspective on pageantry has completely changed too. Because before you enter, you can only see what's on the outside,
Right.
but once you're in it, you realize, first of all, the girls that enter pageants are not just these shallow women.
Right.
They're accomplished, dynamic, intelligent, well traveled. Like
Right.
they are coming with crazy resumes and they have a heart for service and their community.
Right.
Those are the women that enter pageants.
Right.
Pageants are not easy. You
Yeah.
don't just show up and be pretty. It's like it's so much discipline that
Yeah.
goes into it.
It's not that easy. It's not that easy to be as pretty as you think, right? You don't wake up
Absolutely
this
not.
way.
And it's not that easy to be as pretty as you are on the outside, on the inside.
Right.
And so
Right.
that's a big part of it. I never experienced like the cattiness and pettiness that people think, watching like Miss Congeniality.
Right.
No, like it was really amazing.
Yeah. I want you to do that impression of the one about her jaw that was so big. I'd love for you to do that. That would be amazing. My jaw was this big and they wouldn't let me go to the doctor.
Oh, don't put
It
me
was
on the
just, it was
spot.
just
No.
really funny. Oh my gosh, it's so funny. But yeah, and that's the actress in you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, just to say that you look at that situation, you think, oh, these girls are being, like people are taking care of them. Like, listen, you have a job to do. This is your job. You got to show up. You have to be ready. So it's just like, no, I have it on video.
I
Anyway.
know you do.
But it's very funny. One day you'll do an accent for us because
One
you're
day.
really, really good at accents as well.
Thank
Yes,
you.
because in Greece you played. The person was from where? That you
Uh,
played?
the Congo.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
you
that
had
was
to
a
learn
lot of
that.
that was a lot of dialect work and everything too.
All
Just
right.
fascinating. Yeah, I
Yeah,
love it.
good stuff. All right, so now you're working with the Miss Cayman Islands Universe pageant,
Hmm.
and you had coached, I think, a couple of, you had done some stuff for Miss World as well. So now this is kind of you kind of paying it forward a little bit and giving back.
Yeah. In 2019, so I was still currently reigning at the time. I helped the girls then too. I coached that year as well. It's when Khadijah Bodin won.
Okay.
So I got to coach them and also coordinate their swimwear, evening wear segments, the serenade, and the awards. So the show really, all the creative direction that goes into the show, which was awesome. And I felt like that was me kind of passing the torch and
Yeah.
welcoming someone else into the sisterhood. And so this year I've had the opportunity to do the exact same thing on a much bigger scale. So I'm
Nice.
really working with the girls. We've been working for months together and on runway training, mindset. I also did the etiquette training, which is so important as well. And again, creative direction with blocking the swimwear, evening wear, the whole show that you're going to see. I can't wait for everyone to see it this Saturday at the
All
Westin. It
right.
is back on. Of
Okay.
course, with COVID restrictions, things have been kind of shuffled around. So make sure if you have purchased a ticket that you get in contact with the Miss Cayman Islands Universe Committee.
Okay. So it's
But
still on this
yes,
Saturday.
it is. I'm
Okay.
so excited. And I've been doing private coaching, which is great. A nice transition
Yeah.
into, using my skills and being able to mentor and help, people be the best versions of themselves. I think it's great to have a critical eye that can say, hey, do you notice that you do this? But in a loving way, coming
Yeah.
from a good place, because everyone wants to criticize you on social media.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to criticize you 24/7. But to have someone actually there who's on your side has
Right.
been really fulfilling. So I have coached one of the girls who did enter the Miss World pageant this year, and I've been doing private coaching with acting, singing, all that kind of stuff. So it's
Yeah.
been really fulfilling.
Yeah. And so
Yeah.
you feel like, what are your thoughts in terms of the pageant, like the pageant world, right? Because, I always ask that when people kind of think that pageantry is, kind of maybe I don't know, a little fluffy, like just
Mhm.
like so light. But I just think it's transformed so much, right? The
Yeah.
intelligence and the beauty from the inside. You know what I mean? The beauty with a purpose type of thing.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about that in terms of pageantry?
Oh, absolutely. One of my Miss Universe sisters from Curacao, Akeisha, who I love. Right now in Curacao, she actually has a management company. So it's management by Akeisha, where she's mentoring young girls with like from ages like 4 all the way up,
Wow.
and that's just so amazing because I've always felt with pageantry being on the inside, what I've learned is that it's about giving back to your community,
Right.
giving young girls positive role models to look up to in their community,
Yeah.
raising awareness for local charities, for local businesses,
Yeah.
for issues that are really pressing. So it's, yes, looking good and feeling good about yourself and promoting a healthy lifestyle,
Right.
but there's just so much that goes into it. And her being able to mentor young girls in her community, like I would love to see more of that here,
Yeah.
where we're helping to shape the next generation to step
Yeah.
into their beauty and their confidence, be able to conquer the world.
Right. Instead
Yeah.
of them just kind of coming up with, okay, I think I'd like to enter a pageant, but having maybe some type of, group thing that they could have joined before to kind
Right.
of prepare them for something.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds good. Because I remember you saying that. I remember when I was 12 in Miami, there was this charm school
Mhm.
at Westview Middle School, Westview Junior High, and I just remember like being this little Caymanian girl with this accent, and just walking around a little confused, and then getting pulled in with different crowds. And there was this one English teacher, because English was always my subject, right? I talked about math yesterday. That's not my subject. And so the English teacher, and she'd see me wandering the hall. She's like, "You come here, if you join this group with me." And she just kind of pulled me from wherever I was and said, "You're going into this charm school, and that's that." And it was like we'd meet during lunch, and we'd have like,
Mhm.
an hour after school and stuff. And it was this very positive situation. It was
Yeah.
about how you speak, how you behave, how you walk, how you talk. And there's this group of people that if they see you in the hallway doing things that they weren't happy with, they're like, "Come here." Nope,
Yeah,
you're
the
not doing that.
village. The village. And
Absolutely.
I just saw a
That's a good
video
idea.
on social media. It was like Beyonce. It was years ago though. She was talking about a dance teacher that she had, that
Okay.
her parents, because she was so shy, they put her in dance, and then
Yeah.
her teacher heard her singing, was like, "Sing that note again," and it was
Wow.
like, "She can sing. You need to put her in some
Yeah.
singing competitions." And
Good
then there
stuff.
that goes, and now it's
That's Beyonce.
you discovered Beyonce. That
Yeah.
people don't realize how much that can impact a young person, like
Yeah.
just someone seeing you and believing in you,
Yeah.
seeing something that you don't even know exists yet,
Yeah.
and pushing you for that, and you
That's
really
fun.
did like
Yeah.
do that for me my
Thank
whole
you.
life. And I feel like I was always in charm school.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you were.
yeah, like, hey,
Behave yourself. Sit up
sit down.
straight.
You're wearing a skirt.
Yeah.
Like,
Did you say hello? Did you just walk in? Did you not
right.
say anything to people who walked in?
So
Exactly.
I've grown up thinking, hey, everyone thinks like this, right? Everyone
Right.
knows
And
you.
they don't.
You say please and thank you.
And they don't.
It's simple things, yeah,
Yeah. So it's a good, I think it's a good idea. I think
for
it's
sure.
something that, you should think about doing, or starting or whatever, like in schools or something. Because I do believe that when you get the opportunities to go abroad and compete, with 90 other young women or 60 or 70 or how many ever, because I think since COVID it's changed so much. 2020 we didn't even have a pageant.
Right.
And we were able to get Mariah Tibbetts, who was first runner-up, who was
Fabulous, yeah.
amazing. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. To be the reigning Miss Cayman Islands Universe. But just when they're able to see that when they go abroad, it's like it's not so daunting if you're able to kind of do something here.
Yeah,
So
and I got to train her before she went to Miss Universe as well.
Yeah.
And so, having someone who's been there,
she was prepared.
knows how it goes, what you're gonna see, and also how to stand out amongst 90 girls.
Right.
I was like, if you see a camera, run towards
Right.
it. The camera follows the action. I'm not gonna be back here with my roommate who's like, they're not paying us no money. No, I'll talk to you later.
Yeah.
Like,
That
because
was
that
funny.
was happening. I'm like,
That's funny. I heard you say that to someone the other day, and they're not. The camera's never on us. And you're like, we're from a little small place. Let's go to the camera.
right. I was like, if I saw the camera, of course we know why the camera's on Venezuela and Philippines. We
Right.
know,
Right.
because they're huge countries and pageant powerhouses. So I'm
Right.
not gonna be mad. I want to be like, hey girl, I love your lipstick. Oh, there's the camera. Sawadika. Like I just wanted to put myself out there so people could see that Cayman is here and a force to be reckoned
That's
with.
right.
Because
Sure.
once
To the
they see
grave.
us next to these other countries, they can't deny that, wow, Cayman is beautiful. Cayman is intelligent. Cayman can speak.
Right.
Cayman has
Right.
all these things too.
Oh wow.
So
That's
that
great.
was my focus. Like,
Yeah.
I'm getting in that camera. I see them out on the balcony.
That
You
is
coming with me?
that is
Or no?
great.
Yeah.
That's great because instead of standing in that corner wondering why they're not coming to you, figuring out, okay, they're not coming to me because I'm going to go to them.
Yeah.
And that obviously would be something that you learned with your training.
But that's also, yeah, exactly. And That's also something I picked up in New York. It's like there
Right.
are millions of people right here. And so if I'm not ready, if I'm not there, they're going to give it to someone else.
Right.
Not because I'm not right for the job or not amazing, but because I'm not there. They
Right.
can't see me.
Right.
So you can't be in your apartment like, oh, no one's giving me any jobs in this
Right.
apartment. Like, I got to go out. I got to
Yeah.
put myself out there. That's the scary part.
Yeah.
So being able to kind of coach her through that and say, hey, this is what you're going to expect. And, Mariah Tibbetts, so amazing, such a great representative of Cayman Islands. I'm so proud. She did an amazing job.
She did.
She really did. And that's why when I'm talking about pageantry, it's like, these positions, first runner up, second runner up, those are not like throwaway positions.
Right.
That means you're amazing. There
Yeah.
can only be one winner
You're
on the
the
night
next
of.
one.
But
Yeah.
like it doesn't mean that you're not as good or like it's
Right.
just everything has to come together on that one night.
Right.
But she's done so fabulous. But yeah, that mindset,
Yeah.
so huge. It's such a huge hurdle to get over. Once you get past, then you can really shine.
Yeah, and I think that that's really just a great insight from you, because when I'm looking at you now and I'm just imagining, when you show up sometimes for a casting, you might show up and there'll be 25 other girls looking just like you. You know
Oh
what I
yeah.
mean? Yeah, because each agent is sending
Yeah.
someone that they're asking for, right? I want a girl that's 5'10" or whatever. You know what I
And
mean?
that's so funny because that's something I've connected with my best friend who's from Texas. We have so many similarities with the South here in Cayman. Like I don't know if it's small town,
Right.
small island mentality. It's like I remember my friends like, okay, what are you gonna wear? You're gonna wear jeans and slippers? Okay, so we're all gonna wear jeans and slippers. That's how I grew up.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
going to New York, I'm like, actually, I don't want to be wearing what everyone's wearing and
Right.
looking the same as everybody else. I want to
Right.
stand out. And it was the
Right.
first time I was at a casting and I saw all the girls that looked like me, and I was like, hold on. This used to make me feel comfortable, but now I'm like, I'm not
No.
going to be seen.
You're just one of them.
And then when I came, I was the only girl with an afro, the only black girl on, for the audition. And usually that would make someone nervous. I was like, I'm definitely going to be seen today. They're going to see me. So that's great. And then you already booked it before you even show anything,
Yeah,
because
you
you
go.
look different. I was like, I feel bad for the 3 brunettes and the 3 blondes that are here because I'm the only one,
And
So,
there you
cool
have it.
perspective.
That, to me, that was tips of the, tricks of the trade. You guys you just heard some tricks of the trade. You can go ahead and tell your children or tell yourself when it comes to, kind of wanting to stand out or wanting
Mhm.
to be considered or wanting to be reckoned with, but not to stand in the corner and kind of wait for somebody to see you. Hey, we're all here to shine
Mhm.
some way, right? Thank you so much for joining me this afternoon, Caitlin. I want to come back. We're going to take a quick break, but I want to come back and talk about what you've been up to in terms of being kind of, what is it, behind the camera? Is that what it's called?
Yep,
The stuff
behind the lens, behind the scenes.
behind the lens, right? Because we're talking about you showing up and casting calls, but then you've decided, you know what? Maybe I can write some good stories.
Yeah.
Maybe I can produce some good stories, and you've been doing that. So I want to talk to you about that. That would be awesome. Thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. As you can tell, I am having a wonderful time in the studio because I have Miss Caitlin Tyson here with me. I know her a little bit, and so we're very comfortable. We talk a lot about this stuff, and I wanted to share it with you. This is my Thursday Success 101 show, and I could not have asked for a better guest this afternoon. Thank you once again. This is your Straight Talk Drive to 5 show. We will be back with more. Just stay tuned, and we shall be back right after these messages.
3700. More straight talk to come on Star 927.
No matter where you are or where you're going, you deserve to be in control of your freedom. Introducing the new Cayman National Online Banking and Mobile App Experience. Enjoy quick and safe access with facial recognition and fingerprint login. Transfer funds and pay bills with ease. Sign up for online banking today and download our new mobile app available in the App Store and Google Play Store.
Sorry, Christine. You can mention about just secret people outside that will be able to view and still see the contestants in person on different occasions.
Introducing the Burger King Stacker, our signature plain grilled patties, topped with smoked bacon, melted cheese, and just of all our brand new sweet and tangy stacker sauce. Stack it in single, double, triple, or quadruple. Discover the BK sauce that is changing the game. Only for a limited time at Burger King.
Looking to lessen your load? You will see our Wattler and Hislop fleet on the road everywhere, providing septic pumping and drilling, deep well drill, sheet and auger cast piling, concrete pumping, and grease trap maintenance. Our Wattler and Hislop experienced and dedicated employees will do what it takes years, we have serviced Cayman's industrial, commercial, residential, and marine clients. Whether it is a large or small scale project, our 24-hour service staff are on hand to ensure your operation keeps going and any problems turn into quick solutions. Visit us online at equipmentservices.ky or call 949 48.
And welcome back to Straight Talk. This is your Drive at 5 show. Today is Thursday, Success 101. I am your host, Catherine Tyson, and I am joined in studio by Caitlin Tyson, who is here talking about her journey. And I just wanted to share this, this amazing young woman with you because she was my first Success 101 show, and now we get a chance to stream it live this time. So thank you so much once again for joining me this afternoon. And thank you, Caitlin, for being my guest, for agreeing to be my guest.
Thank you for having me again.
All right. So I wanted to talk a little bit about some of the things you've been doing outside of, not just your acting stuff, but you've been doing some producing and some writing. I know that.
Yes.
So let's talk about that.
Well, again, that was something that really started from the necessity to see myself reflected in the stories that I was portraying.
All right.
And sometimes you got to create the work that you want.
Yeah.
And I was kind of, not just wanting to knock down doors, but maybe create some opportunities for people who look like me and have experiences that are similar to mine. So I did write and produce a short film that came out last year, which was so awesome to be able to have like an actual premiere and have people come out and enjoy it.
Too.
Yeah, and it was entitled All In, All Out. And I was really focused on just wanting to write more island-based stories, that I can relate to. And because our country, we like to turn up, we like to party, we like to connect in that way. And so that was really important for me. And so right now, also, I'm producing a holiday musical.
Nice.
That'll be coming out, obviously, November, December, and it's entitled Saving Christmas Island.
All right.
And that's something that I've always felt too, that I want to see more island Christmas stories. I want to see people enjoying the beach and the sun, not just the snow, because guess what? The snow is not all that it's chalked up to be.
Right.
Snow angels are not fun.
I know.
Snowstorms are not fun.
But
what's great
didn't help.
But what's great is being able to be warm and chill on a beach and having good food with your friends and everything. So that's the next project that's in the works right now.
Nice. All right. So here's a little plot summary. Everyone's invited to spend Christmas on a tropical island. Bored of her typical island, Moana is the only person who's finding it hard to be cheerful. A curse gives Moana the winter wonderland that she's been wanting, but the icy cold curse threatens to ruin Christmas forever. They must find a way and search their own hearts to save Christmas. Saving Christmas Island, the musical.
Yes.
All right.
So it's an original musical that I've written. Of course, all the music is music that we know and love. So all the holiday songs. But I wanted to use well-known characters. So you'll see Santa Claus and Buddy the Elf and the Grinch and just kind of mixing all of these worlds and stories together to make something that's really unique.
Yeah. All right. So what are you doing to kind of get that? Are you starting that now? So what are some of the things that you're doing? And I guess, what are you looking for?
Right. So right now we're having an open call for anyone who's interested. All levels are welcome. If you're interested in acting or singing or dancing or want to learn how things go behind the stage, I always want to create more opportunities for young Caymanians, especially mentorship opportunities. So you'll be able to learn from a really great production team, like of other Caymanians that have done this. And so if you're interested, again, beginners welcome. It can be any level. So even if you're like, oh, but I can't sing that well,
it's okay.
Yeah, push yourself. You'll be fine. There'll be a choir. We'll make you sound good.
Someone's going to support you.
Right. So if you are interested in being a part of it, just send me an email at ctpsubmissions@gmail.com. So CTP stands for Caitlin Tyson Productions, submissions@gmail.com. And so open call for everybody. And we're getting that ready right now. It's going to be so amazing. I just want to bring some joy this Christmas season, this holiday season. Yeah. And, coming off of 2020, things were really hard and we didn't know if we would be able to even be in the same room like we are right now. And I remember growing up having like the Santa's Landing and so many cool things that really like filled you up with that holiday cheer. And so I hope that I can bring that and impart that this year.
Yeah, and this is something that you kind of wrote pretty quickly. Where'd you get the idea, and then you just kind of, put it out there. How was your writing process?
The writing process, well, I started it in 2020. So I was in the house,
Yeah.
bored
Okay.
in the house, in the house, bored, you know.
Okay.
And I was just writing a lot of different things. And something I've never tackled was a musical, sort of the 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 framework of a musical and what makes them good, you know. And so I really wanted to jump into that. I've done short films, and obviously any creative person knows you have like 10 projects that are halfway done, you know, that are the skeleton, the bones of it are kind of there, and then you just don't get the final push
Right.
to finish it. And so I was like going back to all of my old projects and trying to figure them out. And then I just had like a bit of inspiration and wanted to put this on. And so I just started writing about the beach. So I was thinking I want to have known characters. I love when I already know the characters. And right now we have a lot of reruns and stuff like that, and sequels and things like that in the movie theaters and stuff.
Right.
So that's a big thing right now. If you already know the characters, you're more inclined to like get into the story. So like, who are my favorite holiday characters? The
Right.
Grinch immediately. Buddy
Right.
the Elf, hilarious. And so I was listening to Christmas music all through summer last year,
Right.
writing it, and it took maybe around like 8 to 9 months really of finishing it. And I just kind of finalized everything this year and decided this is actually good.
Yeah.
And I got a group of trusted people to read it with me.
Right.
You were included in that group. We had a Zoom call, and yeah, and you guys really gave me the push to go through with it. And that's why it's so important to have a tribe of people that believe in you
Right.
and can push you not just to create something, but to share it. Because art isn't art until you share it with other people.
Yeah. So funny because I used to sing. I mean, I've sang like my whole life, right?
Mhm.
And that might not even be a part of my life as your mother, right? But I remember my mother saying that to me when you were going off to New York. She was like, "Oh, I wish I was a mother like you are to her, because I'd have pushed you for your singing, you know."
Aw.
And I love that. I love the fact that she acknowledged that, and she's like, in our day, we didn't think that these things were really, things that could really come true. It's just
Right.
no, you can't. No, being a singer, no, it's not going to work. And so I'm so happy that you're doing that for her. And sure enough, we really have been able to sit back and watch you, and watch you grow and watch you kind of open as a flower, right?
Mhm.
And just getting better and better and better. And I'm really, really excited about that. So this sounds like really exciting. I know you have me down to do a couple of things. You can work me to death. You're welcome. That's all right. That's what I signed up for, being your mother.
Yeah,
So
you
I'm
gotta
excited.
you gotta work your resources.
Yeah, and you're bringing and I love the fact that you're bringing Broadway to Cayman, because that's what I feel it is. I feel like you have this love of Broadway, and I know taking you there a couple of times kind of would have solidified it a little bit.
For sure.
And this is a play. This is a musical. This is for the
Yes.
stage. So what and All In All Out was
A short film.
a short
Mhm.
film. So there's very different dynamics. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a magic with live performance,
Right.
because when you go to see a play, you already know that what you're seeing is not really happening.
Right.
You have to suspend, your belief for a second.
Yeah.
And so I was interested in like writing something that's live. And so I have a few plays that I am currently writing. One is a horror, so that's interesting.
Okay.
On the other side, right?
Right.
But I wanted to have that magic, and I was like, the magic that you feel when you watch live performance, when you hear music, the way certain music just like can lift you up or make you feel sad.
Right.
There's an entire like kind of studies on that. And so that music and that magic, I was like, like Christmas. I missed that feeling. And especially last year, I guess I was kind of feeling a little lack of joy,
Right.
honestly.
I think we
So
all were, right? We
yeah,
were all
so
in that frame of, the pandemic that has just hit the
yeah,
shores, hit the world, and then Christmas came, and it just didn't feel
we
like it.
didn't.
Yeah.
And so I guess escaping for a bit to write that joy, and the lead character who is feeling like, oh, I wish I wasn't stuck on this island, which I'm sure a lot of us have felt that too.
Right.
Like, I wish I was somewhere else. But then looking around and saying, actually, there's no place I would rather be.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It comes
so
like that.
it
Yeah.
was kind of for me very therapeutic to write that story. and to look around and say, I am very grateful to be home. I'm
Yeah.
grateful to be here and in this beautiful weather, this beautiful place with beautiful people who care about each other enough to try to keep each other safe. You know, you
Right.
don't have that everywhere.
Right.
And so, once again, everyone, it's a holiday musical. It's going to be live
Yeah.
entitled Saving Christmas Island. And I'm having an open call right now. If you are interested in acting, singing, dancing, if you're a musician, anything like that, you can reach out to me on Instagram, social media at Caitlin_Tyson, or send an email to ctpsubmissions@gmail.com.
Right.
I want to see the pouring out of talent that I know is here, even if you're a little shy.
Right.
Do
Right.
it.
Can I read some of the synopsis?
Oh, sure.
Narrated by Santa Claus and Buddy the Elf, they guide the audience through the story of gratitude and Christmas cheer. The heroes of our story receive a mysterious invitation to join Moana on her island for Christmas. Everyone is excited except for Moana, who isn't appreciating what she has and is longing for a magical winter wonderland Christmas. The mystery remains. Who sent the letter? Well, Gaston's younger brother, Gustave, employs the enchantress who once before has turned the rude prince into the beast to cast a curse that will ruin their Christmas celebration. Right? So, it sounds like sounds very mysterious.
Yeah,
So what's gonna happen?
you'll have to find out. And every time I watch a movie or a play, I'm always a person asking like, well, if this happened, why did this happen? Or if she learned to do this, why didn't she use it here? I'm always very critical. So
Right.
of my own writing, I kind of wanted to answer those questions. And so I think it made me a better writer too, having to sit down, like everything needs to be cleared up in an hour.
Right. Okay.
How do I clear up all the questions in an hour? So it was really, really interesting. And then having, I think, like 8 people that I really trust read it and say, this is amazing.
Amazing.
So I was like, well, okay,
Yeah.
I got to believe it now.
Yeah, we couldn't believe that you wrote it. We were like, you didn't write this, but
Yeah.
come on.
And like another mentor I had, when you start acting, they're like, don't ask for notes. You want to ask the director, is this okay? Was it all right?
Right.
Did you like when I put my foot here? Did you like when I raised my eyebrow? It's like, if you're not getting notes, that means you're doing good.
Right.
Don't ask for notes. And so
Right.
I found myself doing that. How'd you like the rhyming? How'd you like this?
Yeah.
And I just had to throw my hands up and say, you know what? It is what it is.
I'm going in.
Yeah.
I'm going in. Now, I know you just work on things, different things at different times as well. I know you worked on some other projects. What else have you been working on?
Well, I also have been working on the Psyche community. I've come on air to speak about that before as well. And
Right.
so that's just a community of open minded thinkers where we kind of talk about difficult topics and we get really vulnerable on there. So it's a really safe space for us to share our experiences. So that's Psyche on Instagram, and that's been really amazing.
Yeah.
And we have some projects coming up, so that'll be really fun. And hopefully, we'll touch a lot of people and make us feel like we can share our experiences with others.
Yeah.
Because social media can be used for good as well,
Right.
not just for negativity. And there's so much negativity right now, and I think that a lot of us aren't really looking within to see how we're actually feeling. We just have to get back on the grind, have to go to work, I have to do this. And so having a moment or at least a place where you can unload and feel like, wow, I'm not alone in this,
Yeah.
has been really, really great.
And so, what has the connection been? You think that's kind of led you to do to get involved with the Psyche community?
Well, I think having people that I can talk to was really great. And so I started with one of my best friends,
Yeah.
Catherine. So she's amazing. And just the need for it, because on social media we get the heart eyes and the fire emojis and the, oh yeah girl, you're slaying and stuff, and even when you're just laying in bed and posting
Right.
an old picture, and then you kind of feel like an imposter, and all of that starts to happen.
Right.
But if you write a long caption, you realize no one even read my caption.
Right.
You'll ask a question and you're like, they're not reading, they just want to see your face and kind of double tap. And so we just wanted to use that space of Instagram and social media to not try to sell anything, not try to make you feel like you need to lose more weight, you need to buy this product, you need to change yourself in some way. Just like, no, we're just here to talk.
Yeah.
That's it.
So kind of you think being in the entertainment industry is something that might have inspired that a little bit as well?
I think so, for sure. There was a moment in I want to say maybe end of 2019, beginning of 2020, where I realized that being a model for so long, and then actress, and then Miss Cayman, that I wasn't even comfortable with my own face without makeup on.
Okay.
I hadn't seen my own face in a long time.
Right.
Just like, I take no pictures with no makeup on. I have no videos with no makeup on. So there was a moment of me looking in the mirror like, who is that?
Right. Yeah.
And having to come to terms with that, like, okay, what is that? What's going on? Is that I didn't feel like I was presentable without
Right.
makeup.
Right. Good enough.
Yeah, I didn't feel like I was good enough
Or
or
pretty
myself.
enough,
Yeah.
whatever. Yeah.
And
Okay.
so now I've been able to step back and identify what that is. So when I do put on makeup, I still feel like me. I don't feel like an improved version of myself.
Right.
It's just me.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And so obviously a lot of people must be experiencing that. So there's this space that, young people can kind of, check in with. And is it a one day a week that you guys go live, or is it something that, is it a regular thing? Like how does that psyche community work?
Yeah. So with, things, starting back up this year with everyone going back to work and to school and everything, we've tried to get our schedule back on track. But we have a Men's Talk Monday, which is led by Cottrell, which is awesome for men to come in and feel safe that they can share their experiences, because we think that's really important. There's a huge space that's kind of missing where men are like, no, I can't talk about that. Like, I'm fine. So having him lead that charge has been really awesome. And then we have our Let's Talk Tuesdays.
Okay.
And then we have Speak for Yourself live Thursdays.
Yeah.
So Thursdays we go live and Monday. So that's Psyche on Instagram. Join the community if you feel like you want some safe space to talk about different things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what are some of the topics that you have kind of dealt with?
We've talked about anxiety, depression,
Which is huge. A lot of
yeah.
people talk about that.
Yeah,
especially since last year with what we're dealing with. And
oh
stuff.
yeah, and being able to identify that, oh yeah, I am feeling anxious.
Right.
Even with the earthquakes,
Right.
that was huge for me, like feeling really unsafe, and
Right.
it really did shake me, for lack of a better term,
Yeah.
pun intended. But we've talked about eating disorders, also toxic relationships, how to identify if you may be exhibiting toxic behaviors in your relationship, or
Right.
how to know if you're in a toxic relationship, setting boundaries, which is a big thing, especially
Right.
for Caribbean people with our family and our friends. We have a hard time setting healthy boundaries.
Right.
We always want to help or load our plate with more and more and more, and sometimes we can't afford to do that. So
Right.
yeah, those are some of the topics that we get into.
Sounds good. Sounds like it's needed, and like you said, social media kind of needs to be used for other things other than I don't know if it's a pretending or taking pictures of your food or taking pictures of your perfect life, but yet you're depressed laying in the bed.
Right. I mean, it's odd for people to take a picture crying or having a mental breakdown.
Right.
And if someone does share a picture where they're crying, we're like, this person just wants attention.
What are you doing?
Well, maybe
Yeah.
they do want a little attention,
Yes.
And
Yes.
so it's hard to find that balance. You tend to just have your highlight reel.
Right.
And when you look your best, feel your best, and that's not every day.
Yeah.
And so it's important for people to know that you can just come and chill with us.
Yeah.
And be yourself.
Yeah, and having your tribe, like you said, finding a tribe, having your tribe, appreciating your tribe, being a part of a tribe too, because sometimes it's not just about us getting, but it's about what we give also, right?
Yeah,
it's important.
100%.
Yeah. So you just sound like you are just busy with a lot of stuff, and it seems like you are finding your way through being on this small island, and that big city life that you've kind of come from, and you're momentarily here, but you're blooming where you're planted. What are the big city dreams then? What are the big city plans that you have outside of this little space there that you're I guess inhabiting currently? I'm just asking for a friend.
The big city dreams
or plans.
Plans. 2020 gave me a lot of perspective, where I was looking at, I was in that little rat race for a while. Is that something I really want?
Right.
And so right now, today, all I want is to be happy, healthy, and content.
Yes.
And to do what I love.
Yeah.
And to be able to sustain myself with what I love.
Right.
And so that's enough for me. I've been inspired by so many working actors and working models that you don't know their names, but they are working
Right.
consistently,
Right.
making a good living and having a great life without the pressure of being known.
Right.
And so I'm looking at that like, huh, maybe I'll do that.
Sounds good.
And Miss Cayman Islands, becoming Miss Cayman Islands 2018 was a great opportunity for me. I've been signed with an agency in New York. And so once things are a little back to normal, hopefully very soon, I'll be able to start working in that way again
Yeah.
and just see where this career takes me. I have no real no real plans. I know where I want to go, but I know the path will vary. So if I
Right.
say this is the path to this goal, I know I'm going to be
Yeah. Somehow
shocked.
thrown off of that path.
Yes.
Yes. It's go ahead, sir.
Oh yeah, and just speaking about Miss Cayman Islands, for anyone who is coming to the pageant this Saturday, I can't wait for you to see the show. The girls have been working so hard,
And that
and
opening number you choreographed.
yes,
I
I
can't wait to
choreographed the
see
opening
it.
number, and it's amazing. Of course, I think it's amazing, but they've done so well. They look great, and so if you are coming this Saturday, it is back on at the Westin, 7 p.m. If you have already purchased your ticket and want a refund or to reserve a seat, then just email misskmaninfo@gmail.com. We've had to make some adjustments with the COVID restrictions, so there's now going to be 200 people out on the lawn area, the beautiful area at the Westin, and the girls will be parading out there, so you'll still see them in person. There'll be an additional welcome cocktail for you and hors d'oeuvres, so it's going to be an amazing night. So remember, if you want to refund or reserve one of those seats, then just send an email to misskmaninfo@gmail. I can't
Yeah.
wait for you guys to see it. It's going to be awesome.
I can't wait to see it. I've seen so many things on my back porch. I've seen so many things in my living room. I have seen so many things that you've choreographed that I can't wait to see.
Yeah.
And you've done some stage stuff that I've seen as well. So I
Yeah,
can't
well, we
wait to
did the
see it.
color purple African homeland. Was
Absolutely.
that
That was
year
great.
before last? Yeah, that
Yeah.
was awesome.
Yeah, that was.
With Dream Chasers, who are
Yeah,
great. Like Mel is amazing with them, and I, of course, just want to give more opportunities to young Caymanians. That's always what I'm trying to do.
yeah,
We
for
can just
sure.
come together, collaborate, create more art, and grow together.
For
So
sure.
again, open call for this
Yeah.
holiday musical, Saving Christmas Island. So if you want to be a part of it, if you sing, dance, act, just send me an email, ctpsubmissions@gmail.com.
Yeah, and reach out to us. I mean, if you don't remember that, we can find me or just, look us up on social media, whatever, if you're
Yeah.
interested, because we definitely I'll pass that on to Miss Caitlin. And what I loved about what you just said about your career and where the path is taking you is that success doesn't have to look like one thing in particular.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that because I think, this Thursday Success 101, it's really about that. It's about, highlighting our young Caymanians that are making their way in the world, right? And making that space for themselves because there's so much space and there's enough for
Yeah.
all of us. And it doesn't have to look like that. I remember hearing Denzel Washington in an interview many, many 20, 30 years ago because he's been, he's 60 now.
Yeah.
Can you believe that? I can't. I know the ladies listening to me cannot believe that. Denzel Washington is 60 something. Listen, right? Because he will be forever young. But I remember when he said, he said in this interview, he said, not everybody's going to be a Denzel Washington. He said, I mean, think about it. He said, when I started out, I wasn't a Denzel Washington. I was
Yeah.
just this kid, that was, trying to feed myself
Right.
and, just happy to have a job. And so if you're lucky enough to be able to do what you love and be paid for it,
Mm-hmm.
that's where it's at. That's success. And I
Mm-hmm.
think just hearing you say that really just kind of reinforced that for me as well. And for people that are seeing their children that that their children are thriving. And yesterday we talked parenting stuff and not really putting this pressure on your children that they have to make straight A's, like being unrealistic that they have to make straight A's. Yet we're not finding time to kind of help them with
Mm-hmm.
homework or help them with life choices and stuff like that, but being unrealistic. Straight A's aren't everything,
Mm-mm. And
right?
I read something that really hit me, and it was like, becoming a parent and being curious to learn who this little person is
Right,
versus kind of pouring everything you want them to
right,
be
right,
on them, like
right,
that, the weight of that. Just be
Right.
curious. They'll tell you who they are,
Right.
and you can assess and kind of guide them in the way that will work for them. Because,
Right.
with me and my two older brothers, you didn't use the same tactics with all of us.
I couldn't.
We're
Three
all
different
so
people.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
so,
true.
just being curious is like who they are, what do they want to do, and how can you nurture that?
Yeah. And it would have been nice if I could have. It would have been nice if what worked for this one would work
Right,
for
that'd
this.
be
That would have been
easiest.
so easy because I'd know you tell this one this and this is what's going to happen. But no, I just see different functioning. And so instead of, really stressing the whole system, I'm like, all right, let me go along with you. Okay, I'm going to need to say it differently to this one. I'm going to need
And like you said at the beginning, you said, that yesterday you were talking about math and that's not your thing at all.
Right,
Me either. So imagine you getting on me for getting a C in math. You were
right.
so proud of me. I
Proud.
was like, thank you, because it's rough out here. I'm not good at math.
Proud.
Everything else.
And then I called Mr. Bailey. I said, Mr. Bailey,
Right, Mr. Bailey.
or Mr. Francis, can you tutor my children, please? Because, they're struggling with math.
Like, yeah,
Exactly.
she's not faking.
Yeah,
It's
finding the
really bad.
resources. Exactly. But like, supporting you and singing your praise. But in English now, don't you
Right.
dare bring a C home English, Miss
Yeah.
Caitlin.
But with
Who has the literature degree.
right. But with that being said, right, having that extra help in it, and look, I still got my C that I was very proud of in math,
Right.
and I'm a functioning adult.
Right.
I'm doing quite well.
Exactly.
So that pressure of like straight A's, you need those straight A's, like,
Right.
come on.
Right.
It's unrealistic for every child to be able to do that.
Yeah.
They probably shine in different ways.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And just let them shine.
Yeah.
Sing their praises and let them shine. That's something out of the new book coming. Anyway, Caitlin, thank you so much for joining me this afternoon. The time has gone. We're at the end of the show. This is your Straight Talk Drive at 5 show. This is Thursday Success 101. You were just listening to the lovely Caitlin Tyson. She was a Miss Cayman Islands Universe 2018, talking about her success journey, the stuff that she's up to now. Please catch the Miss Cayman Islands Universe pageant this Saturday night at the Westin. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, see if you can get some. If you have your tickets, it's on. It's going to be happening out there. And I can't wait to see what you've done. And I can't wait to see the Saving Christmas Island, the musical. I'm here. I'm in the front seat of any production that you're doing, and I am just rooting for you, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
me.
you
This
so much. I've had a great time.
Yes, and thank you all so much for joining me this afternoon. This is my Friday. Of course, it's your Thursday, but that means that we're not on tomorrow. Straight Talk is on Monday through Thursday. So you have yourself a great weekend when it comes. Take care of yourselves. Get some rest and relaxation, and get yourself ready for Monday. And take care of one another. And we shall talk again on Monday, where it will be Medical Mondays brought to you by Health City. Take care and have a great evening. This is Catherine Tyson, your host, and I'm saying ta-ta.
Right now, what we're doing is making that noise.
Well, at least it's probably nice.
Yeah, for real not. Use the bathroom
Uh,
real quick and then
I haven't been so happy to see us.
can you take a picture of me with your phone?
I need to get this.
Can you take a picture of me?
Yeah, there.
Yeah, with your phone. Just need to send it to me. You might get it.
Hello?